Welcome to Learn English Journey. Today's story is called The Dinner That Changed Everything. It's a story about family, forgiveness, and the power of coming back home. Before we begin, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? Write your country and city. We love seeing our community around the world. The smell of roasted turkey filled the small apartment in New York City. Lisa stood by the window, watching the snow fall gently outside. It was Thanksgiving Day, and the city was almost silent. Just the hum of the old refrigerator and the ticking of the clock on the wall. She looked at the table she had set. 4 plates, 4 glasses, 4 folded napkins, but one chair, the one at the end of the table, remained empty. It had been empty for 20 years. Lisa's hands trembled as she adjusted the silverware. Every Thanksgiving, she promised herself she wouldn't cry. And every year, she broke that promise. Her sons, Jake and Michael, were running late, as usual. She smiled faintly, remembering when they were little boys, always laughing, always asking, "Mom, when will Dad come home?" She had no answer back then. She still didn't. The doorbell rang. Lisa wiped her eyes quickly and forced a smile. Jake entered first, carrying a box of pumpkin pie. "Hey, Mom," he said, giving her a warm hug. "Smells amazing." Michael followed, quieter than usual, holding something or someone behind him. Lisa tilted her head. "What's that, honey?" Then a deep, familiar voice spoke from the hallway. "Lisa." Her heart froze. She turned slowly. There he was, Tom, her husband, the man who had walked out 2 decades ago. He looked older, thinner, but his eyes, those same blue eyes, were full of regret. The room went completely silent. Even the clock seemed to stop ticking. Lisa stared at him for a long moment, unable to speak. Jake's voice broke the silence. "Mom, I asked him to come." Lisa sat down slowly, her eyes fixed on the man she once loved. "Why now, Tom?" she finally whispered. "After 20 years?" Tom took off his coat, his hands shaking. "I'm sick, Lisa. The doctors say I don't have much time." Jake lowered his head. Michael stared at the table. Lisa felt the air leave her lungs. For a moment she wanted to scream, to tell him to leave, but something inside stopped her. Instead, she said quietly, "Sit down. There's an empty chair." He hesitated, then sat. The same chair that had waited for him every Thanksgiving. Dinner was quiet. The only sound was the clinking of forks. Jake tried to start a conversation, but every word fell flat. Tom finally said, "Lisa, I know you hate me. You have every right to." "I made mistakes," Lisa interrupted sharply. "You didn't just make mistakes, Tom. You left. You left your sons. You left me." Her voice cracked. Tom nodded slowly. "I was afraid. I lost my job. I felt like a failure. I thought you'd all be better off without me." Lisa looked at him with disbelief. "Better off? We cried for years. Every night your boys asked where you were." Silence again. Tom's eyes filled with tears. "I know. and I can't change the past. But I came here today to say I'm sorry, not just with words, but with truth. He reached into his pocket and placed a small folded photo on the table. It was old and faded, their family smiling before everything broke. Michael finally spoke. "Dad, is it true you never called because of Grandma?" Tom sighed deeply. "Yes. She told me Lisa had moved on. She said you didn't want me back." Lisa's eyes widened. "Your mother said that?" Tom nodded. "I was weak. I believed her. I went away, ashamed and angry. I didn't know the truth until it was too late." Lisa stood up, tears falling freely now. "For 20 years we lived with that lie. You could have called. You could have come back." Tom's voice trembled. "I know, and I'll regret it until my last day." Michael whispered, "You're dying, aren't you?" Tom nodded silently. Lisa took a deep breath. For the first time in years, she looked at Tom, really looked. The anger in her heart began to soften, replaced by something else. Sadness, compassion, maybe even peace. She reached out and touched his hand. "You hurt us, Tom, but you're still their father, and maybe that's enough for now." Jake smiled softly. "Dad, maybe it's time we start over." Tom's eyes filled with tears. "If I could have one wish, it would be to eat this dinner with my family just once more." Lisa nodded. "Then eat, Tom. You're home." Hours later, after everyone had gone to sleep, Lisa returned to the dining table. The plates were empty, the candles burned out. Only one thing remained, the chair where Tom had sat. She ran her fingers along the wood, remembering his smile that night. 2 weeks later, Tom passed away peacefully. At his funeral, Lisa placed a small card beside the flowers. It said only 3 words, "The chair's full." That Thanksgiving, for the first time in 20 years, Lisa didn't cry because of what she lost, but because of what she finally found, peace. Sometimes forgiveness doesn't change the past. It just changes how the heart remembers it. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember, every empty chair has a story behind it.